is yes, because the product is biodegradable and it also has some advantages like reducing plaque, and it is also good for environment. Okay, it also reduces tooth decay. And finally, what gross margin would you expect? We expect around 30 to 40% because our product is really cheap compared to other products on the market. Presently, packs of gum, if you take the case of Mexico, where one of our teammates is living, the pack of gum is around $2. But we will sell our own at $1. So it will be cheap and it has so many advantages.
Wow. So can I understand that? You're saying that the cost of production in Mexico is $2?
Yes.
Surely not.
No, $1 is the total cost of goods sold per pack, including product packaging, packing, and logistics. So it will be cheaper than the one sold by other companies. So on a competitive way, we are the best, the dragon.
I think we have a question from the audience, which I think will...
Just a comment.
A comment.
You can get cheaper gum, 50 cents.
There we go. There we go. Interesting.
How many gums are inside?
Okay. Just one question about how you said you would get to market, and on the marketing side, you mentioned advertising on TV, radio, newspapers, door-to-door. This sounds like a very expensive marketing campaign. And what I'd just ask you, have you considered we've been looking at some websites, and have you considered the effects of how you can use the web to achieve publicity and knowledge about your product? I'm not an expert in this field at all, but I know businesses who are using the social networking sites of Facebook or Twitter or YouTube to actually promote their material. I wondered if you considered any of those sorts of sites for getting to the market.
Yeah, sure, because the audience will be very large. We will have more people that will be targeted, so that I'm sure that through internet our market will enlarge.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Any more questions from the audience, or can I move on to the next team? Can we invite the next team to come up? Yes. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Which product are you doing?
Also the same.
The same. Good. Okay.
Okay.
Which team are you? You are?
I'm group 1.
You're group 1.
Okay, we got the same product. We also chose the gum, the 100% natural gum. And the first question was, or could you patent it? We think, no, you can't patent it because we did a patent search. And in the PCT database, already 3 patents granted to Wrigley Jr. Company, which is the leading manufacturing gum globally. And so I think we think it will be possible to patent. Who would buy it? We think it will be healthy mind chewing consumers, because it's made from tree sap, which is 100% naturally. How could you get customers? I think we found a marketing campaign to maybe supply Alex Ferguson, because he's one of the leading roles in the soccer game. And he's like a figure role to many, soccer fans. So it'll be a good marketing campaign, but we can also use websites like Twitter, YouTube.
You had those written down before.
How would you get it made? We thought maybe to outsource the production or the manufacturing to China, because nowadays it's the best way to get a higher gross margin and to lower your cost. Do you believe there's a value business for this product? We did a competitor research, and a lot of competitors who claim the same to reduce plaque and the risk of tooth decay. So we think the best way is to aim at maybe health consumers, and also to sell it as a health product instead of selling it at distribution points like supermarkets. So we think it's better to sell it as pharmacies and also at dentists. And we think it's maybe wise to use a price variable strategy. And we think we're going to sell it at a price at $2. This will give it its, people will maybe think it's a higher value due to the higher price. And what gross margin percentage would you expect? We think we can achieve a gross margin of nearly 50% due to the price we'll be selling it at $2.
Excellent. Very good. Very good indeed. Any questions from the audience? Yeah. Can we have a question? Can we have a question? Is there a question?
I have one question. My question is, if you want to manufacture it in China, the raw material is produced in the UK. Don't you think that you spend much money for transportation and so on?
Okay. We didn't know that a tricep indeed was produced in the UK. Maybe in that way we just only outsource manufacturing costs, but we didn't think about that point, so that's a good point you mentioned there. Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
You mentioned that there were 3 patents, right?
Yeah.
Would that block you from selling the product, and if so, do you have the necessary permissions, a license?
That's a good one, because the 3 patents were granted to Wrigley Junior Company were patents on the production of the tricep and also the application to the gum base. But I saw that I think the Peppermint is licensing the, how you say, the patent from Wrigley Junior Company, and mainly also the other competitors also license the, so it's a more fee-based patent, so every company can license the technology. But I don't know exactly how much the license costs really are.
You said the $2 per packet, and three is $1. So you may have to compete with other producers. And in Mexico, 50 cents. 50 cents.
Yeah, but it's different product.
I know.
Different product.
So you may consider the different pricing by the third market.
Yeah, but I think we want to aim at a higher consumer market, at a higher.
So you don't want to go to Mexico?
No, we intentionally we're pricing the gum at a higher price, so we attract other customers, more the health consumer customers who are able or willing to pay a higher price due to the health image that we consume on the gum.
How do you compete with $1?
What?
How do you compete with $1?
By attracting other customers, by attacking another certain market, more the health consumer market, more the more the market where people think the higher the price, the higher the value.
In marketing, you know that marketing company want to go for brand ambassador as producer or something. What you do?
Okay, I can understand.
You have chosen one brand ambassador, right?
Alex Ferguson.
Ah.
Yes, he's
Yeah,
the
it's like a campaign.
manager of Man United.
Marketing.
Why you chosen that guy?
I think Alex Ferguson is well known as the #1 trainer in the United Kingdom at Chester United.
Yeah.
He's always chewing gum, so it'll be a fun
great
marketing
idea.
campaign. Will be something that people will remember, something radical, something out of the box.
Do you have to pay to it?
I think we would be happy with a year's supply of gum.
Lovely. Well done. Well done. Thank you very much. Okay. Excellent. Next team. Who's up next? Yep. Very good. Excellent. which product are you doing? Which product?
We took the rubber mat.
Material. Good. Okay.
So, looking at the properties of the material, we are not sure if it's really innovative. So we have to do a patent research if the rubber mat can be patented. But even if it could be patented, we wouldn't patent because, as Mr. Parker said, the strength of a patent is the ability to defend the patent. And when you start up a company, well, the most of your resources you should spend in expanding in the company. So we wouldn't spend money on patenting it, and we would aim for scientific environments like flooring laboratories in case of emergencies, so the scientists in case of escape wouldn't slip from the stairs. Also, you could think of flooring around pools and other slippery areas to promote this. So, how to get customers? We would first try and find a laboratory who would like to try the technology, and with those, I'd say remarks, we could use those like testimonials in scientific papers to promote and try and find the global market. Since we aim for scientific surroundings which are like all over the world, we aim for how to say the cheapest place to produce this rubber mat. So we have the biggest gross margin. And if we believe if there's a viable business for this product, we think it's a good product, and scientists and laboratories are prepared to pay for it. And since it's a pretty high-tech product, the gross margin depends on what laboratories are prepared to pay for it. And since this is a real high-tech product, the most, I think, like NASA and stuff, they don't care how much it costs as long as it's good, so you can make a good gross margin. That's basically our product.
So what percentage gross margin are you predicting selling it to NASA?
Yeah, quite high, like 70, 80. Depends.
70 or 80%?
Yeah, it's just like a random number.
Okay. Good, thank you. You mentioned that you would use a lab to trial the product, and that raises, I think, quite an interesting idea, which is having pilot trials. How do you get your first customers? And I think it's a great idea to invite people to participate, or organisations, potential customers, to participate in a pilot trial. And they may not be paying for the product or service, but they become the best ambassadors of the service. The SFT company that I displayed the website of earlier on, the management who set up that set up a similar business in the UK about 10 years ago, and we were financing pharmacists, the National Health Service prescriptions, which are paid for by a government organisation. They were taking quite a long time to pay the accurate amount, so we stepped in and said, well, we'll buy that from you and finance it. And pharmacists in the UK are a very conservative bunch of people, and in order to get them to buy into this, because this was a new product to them, we identified half a dozen pharmacists who were quite ambitious about wanting to grow their businesses, and we got them signed up as the pilots, and many of those became very successful, and they became the best salesmen for the business. So those original 6 pharmacists who've gone on to great things were the best salespeople for that business. And having a successful pilot trial is a really good idea. Getting people involved who will then become ambassadors, champions, sales for your company. Excellent. Okay, good. Any questions from the floor here about this use as a flooring product in labs? Thank you.
Okay. Where will they sell it? Which country?
Basically everywhere where there's a scientific laboratory and there's need of these flooring material. So So that's why you can look where it's the cheapest place to get made, probably China as well. So, any other questions?
Yes, my question concerns one of the properties of the material. The material has an estimated outdoor life of around 40 to 50 years.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that particular statement regarding your business plan?
Well, basically, that is not the unique selling proposition of the flooring principle, but it is a ability of the material for maybe further expenditures, like later you can floor in swimming pools or hotels, whatever. First we will start on laboratories, and then we will move on to swimming pools, like I said.
So you think we will make some benefit?
Yeah, it's just an extra additional unique thing, but you don't have to use every ability. You just look where you can make the most, where the biggest possibilities are, I think.
I have one question. You talked about an 80% gross margin, and I wondered if you'd considered what alternative flooring products exist and what they might cost, because to achieve an 80% margin on a cost of sale of $10, you're looking at selling this at $50 per square meter, and I just wonder how many labs would be happy to spend $50 per square meter on flooring their material.
It's anti-slip material, so you just need it for places where there's danger of slippage, and that's not like the whole laboratory. It's like on stairs and those areas. So it depends. It's a unique market. So.
Okay. Any more questions?
For example, if you have got normal stone flooring in the lab, and you go for your product, how it will serve the purpose?
Yeah, that's why we start at people we know, and we start to put it in those laboratories, and those positive experiences, we hope they will spread it out, and that other laboratories will buy our product. That's basically the idea.
What additional advantage it will give you if you use your product, rather than maybe if you go for flooring? Flooring is flooring, right?
Those are the properties of the material.
Use almost all kind of advantages what you can have over here. Even you can work for 100 years.
Sorry, I don't know.
You are talking about flooring. If I use stone as a flooring,
Yeah.
it may give almost all kind of benefit what you are having over here. And if I get that particular thing as a $10,
But if your floor breaks
what
because
is
of
the
the
competitive
chemicals,
advantage in your product for flooring? That is what I
because it can withstand many chemicals, heat, age.
Stone can also have protection against normal chemical if get down.
Okay, and this is anti-slip, so in case you have to escape
Stone will have
the stairs.
anti-friction qualities.
Okay, so
I think this is what we call a fierce conversation, which is I'm impressed. It's very challenging.
Every country has a sort of budget.
Customer
How do you expect that 8% margin?
To interject, this could easily be installed. It could be used on any existing flooring. It could be used to make it anti-slip. You could have any flooring there, stick this on the surface, and you have anti-slip. So this is useful in the sense that it's very versatile. It doesn't require the stone is probably more expensive.
I think in the interest of time, we'll stop whilst you're ahead. So, okay, thank you. Well done. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there must be another 3 teams out there. So who wants to come up next? So, which team are you? Thank you. And which product?
Gum.
Which product?
Gums.
The gum.
Okay. The team N of 5. We suppose that we are from developing countries, so we have to to start with very simple and lower projects. So we have chosen gums. Could you patent it? No. As always, we cannot patent it. And would you buy it? Who would buy it? We think many people would buy it, but specifically teenagers and olders. How would you get customers? We think through advertising, TV, radio, mascot, and maybe testimony with friends and other people. How would you get it made? We will find the low-cost company who could provide it to us. The place of the company is not important for us, but they will deliver it to us at the lowest price. It could be far from our local or near, but they will deliver the product to us at the lowest price. Do you believe there is a viable business for this product? We think, because young people have money, and at any time they are trying to, they have to, also to buy something or to do something with it. So we will try to earn all this money to be rich. What gross margin would you expect? About 20%. 20%. We want to start, so we are not looking for a great margin. So we want to just have 20% for the beginning. Thank you.
Good. Okay. Any questions from the audience on this? So this is the gum. They're going to sell it to teenagers, advertise it on the TV and radio.
Advertisements on the television and radio, is it expensive?
Yes, but there is many ways to advertise. We are not going to advertise by giving money. Maybe we can organize something or look for journalists through an emission or something like that and advertise for our products. It will not be a professional advertisement, but we will find many ways to advertise. Maybe give a prize or something like that, participate to something. There is many ways to advertise.
How can you convince children to use this gum? Because it's 100% naturally, and you will competing with other gums like that are flavors or more candy based. How can you compete with those gums, and how can you attract children?
Yes, we are looking for the lowest price. So we said we are not going to sell it at a high price. So we will be the lowest because we are beginning.
You're going to sell it at 125.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. My question is, if it is about the company that provides come to you, if you will be the sole company, the only one that will buy that product, will it be produced only for you, or will there be another company interested? And if it is the case, there will be competition amongst you, and it will reduce your own market. So it is not sure that you will have your 20% in that case, unless it produces the product only for you.
We have our strategy. I think we will focus on our strategy to get our 20%.
Okay.
Another company that sells the same product. If you want to sell at, let's say, $1.50, they sell at $1.40. If you reduce, they reduce. How will you afford 20%?
We said that we have our plus strategy. It is not only on the price, you see, because it depends on the culture and the areas. You can go in a kind of area if you explain why or what could be the qualities of your product. It could be a little higher than they will buy it.
We have a question at the back.
It depends on how you advertise.
Yes.
You see.
Since your market customers will likely be teenagers, probably of school age, why can't you consider going to maybe school organized events?
Yes, I say that we have many ways of advertisement.
Okay.
Many ways
Just to tell you that.
Organizing many things to gather people.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good. All right. Okay, who's next? And which group are you?
Manoj,
Okay.
representing Eagle.
Eagle, good.
Okay, and we have chose the gum.
The gum, good.
Eagle. First question is, could you patent it? We will not like to patent this gum. And we chose this chewing gum because when we did the market survey, it says that this market is increasing by 9.8% every year, and sugar-free gum, which covers 80% of this market, and category is growing at 15% per annum. So this is the main thing which we try to choose this gum. And who would buy it? The potential buyers are kids, youngsters, and large population in developing country who are health conscious, and most of them are very crazy about the Western product, and they have a confidence about the quality in that product. So they are the potential buyers. How would you get the customers? By advertisement through animated movies, because in our country we have seen that animations, the movies, it makes kids, a lot of the time they are very much after some product, if you this in animated movies with something, and electronic media. How would you get it made? We will buy this technology from the original manufacturer on sharing profit. Do you believe this is a viable business for this product? Yes. What gross margin percent would you expect? In the starting we'll expect around 20%, and later on it's 30%.
Very good. I'm interested that you've done this market research and you discovered growth in the gum.
Our teammate, she did this thing, and she gave
Excellent.
me this data.
That's teamwork. It works, you see. That's exactly it. So you're an expert on market research, and you've used that data. And was that in the global market, or was that the Western market that was growing? Global market is growing. Okay. But you've mentioned the
our potential buyers will be the population in developing countries. We are concentrating on the developing countries.
And I wondered whether you had statistics for how the market is growing in developing countries. Is that
this gum industry is developing there also? Okay. Kids are crazy about it. Like youngsters are crazy about it.
Okay. And one of my questions is, you said that you would buy the technology with some sort of profit share from technology from manufacturer owners. So you would reduce your margin by actually giving some of the revenue to the producer.
But that will save our money in patenting and everything and going through all this technical process.
Good. A couple of interesting points there. Okay. Sorry, any questions from the audience here on for the Eagle team? No? Okay. Oh, sorry.
The price we're talking about?
Huh?
Be about 125 to a 20% margin. Yeah. Or more than 30%.
Starting and then 30%. Because volume will increase.
Yeah.
Okay, you can buy these for a pack of cigarettes next to
Okay. Which is more healthy?
how many persons have buy pack of gum during this week, for example?
That's a good question. How many people in this room have purchased gum in the last week? Wow.
Not teenagers.
And how many in the last month? Similar. Okay. In the last year, who's purchased gum? Wow. Okay. No, we're not selling cigarettes. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Any more questions? If not, oh, sorry. There's another question.
No. Seeing the market, I know about the idea about the market. At least in my country, I know about these products, how the market is. So it's large volume. So I will be. There will be no problem by spending this money in any material. It's not very expensive also now.
Can you use open innovation to have get people to create cartoons for you, animations for you?
Yeah. Okay. But I will not go for the schools and like this thing, because people in the school, they will not like this. Their kids to eat all these things in the schools campus. As people were talking about the gums, they will go to the schools for advertisement.
Brilliant. Okay, thank you very much. Oh, more questions. Sorry, you can't get away. One more question, please. One. Yeah. Can we have?
One question. Somebody comments. If you can make good 3D movie, you can benefit from the movie also.
Yeah.
That one person has actually positioned this particular product as a health product. How you are going to position this?
There is a health product also. There are potential buyers for health and health also.
I don't know.
It's sugar free, na?
How you are positioning it? They clearly mentioned that it's a maybe health product.
It will be in the medical stores and everywhere there.
No, positioning in the mind of consumer. How you will position it?
That we will decide. This is trade secret.
Brilliant. Good example of a flexible strategy. Okay. Am I right in thinking we have one more team still to? One more team. Okay. Who's? One more team?
Which group is that missing?
Group 5, Group 6, Group 1. Oh, which group are you? You're fine. Excellent. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. We are from Group 5, FRS. So we are choosing the rubber.
Okay.
So the first question is, would you patent it? Yes. So who will buy it? Manufacturers such as vehicle industry, shipping or boat industry, and maybe NASA. How will you get the customer? Maybe we are try to direct selling. Our sellers we going to the manufacturing. So next question, how will you get it made? We are decide to outsourcing, maybe to the third countries such as Indonesia, China, or Vietnam. So the next question, do you believe there is a viable business for this product? Yes, we believe. So what gross margin percentage would you expect? 20%. Thank you.
Okay. Can I just ask what would you be using it like the other team as a flooring material? Is that how are you going to use the material? You said you sell it to NASA. What?
We are not sure that, because we just see the property of material. Maybe NASA can use that because they have the resistant to many chemical environment emission for outer space.
So we're not sure how they're going to use it, but we think they'll buy it.
Try to selling to them, because they have the product life cycle until 50 years.
Okay, good. Okay, we have a question. Yumi? Yeah?
Where are you going to find content? I mean, which country
course. We're trying from the WIPO first.
Okay.
After that, let's see to the maybe European country or US.
And that's cost effective. You are selling only specific.
You're selling to NASA,
One customer may be NASA, but another customer we're trying to selling to the shipping boat and vehicles such as a Proton from the developing country, Cherry from China, something like that.
Okay, I think there was another question behind as well.
Yes, I only want to say that if you want to market a product as a building material, the most effective way to do it is through the professionals who make decisions about the use of materials in a building. Let's say the architects and the engineers. Now, if you can succeed in getting an architect to approve your product, what you can do is that he can reach several other customers, that is clients, on your behalf. That is customers that you are not able to reach directly. Because every architect has numerous clients.
Yes.
And if you get an architect, then he's able to, and if your product is good, then he's able to reach many customers on your behalf. So that will reduce the cost of the marketing costs for you.
I think you've raised a really excellent point there about distribution. The company who gave me this material, plant of mine in Cambridge, also are a solar panel installer. They started as a roofing contractor, and this is actually a roofing material, but what they have moved into is because they have roofing contractors who are they're going onto roofs already, they're already there. In order to be able to install a solar panel, it seemed to make sense, and the margins are much better on installing solar panels than they are on actually just doing roofing repairs. So they've moved into the solar side, and the way that they get the business is very much through third parties. And you're spot on with architects, because if you have persuaded, and this is very relevant for a lot of the building industry, because the architects can be specifying materials which are going to be used in the end building. If you've got your architects on board saying that this is the best material to use and these are the best PVs to use, then you will be in there getting the business. So they become your best salesman, and networking with them is sort of more important, because they are your sales force, as opposed to employing somebody going around banging on doors trying to persuade them to buy this material. That's not going to happen. So yeah, going through professionals who are specifying is an excellent way of distributing this sort of product. Sorry, another question?
Also in building expos. Building expos.
Oh, building expos, yes, yes.
Material.
Yeah. Okay. Tony, did you put your hand up there? You didn't know? Okay, I thought there was a question from the back. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I think it will be a very hard sell to NASA if you just give them a right out, you find what you use it for and things like that. And do you think they would have the time to test out the properties of that and think of what use they could put it to? So it's better to have some idea about what it can be used and suggest to them. Maybe you can use it on the roof or the shuttles or whatever. But otherwise it's very hard to give them. They don't have
it's
the
very
time
hard, yes, I agree with you. But this is the answer which after we discuss.
Okay.
It's not my answer.
The other property which I just want to mention about this is that, and I don't know if any of you tried punching a hole in it with a knife or a compass or a sharp point. But one of the properties of this material is that it is self-sealing. So if you punch a hole and if you put a nail through it accidentally and pull the nail out, it closes up on the hole. And that's been one of the benefits that's been produced in this material since I last showed people like this roofing material, and that's one of the reasons that this is now sort of superseded the other, because the other material, when it was being installed, if an installer caught it with a knife or a chisel or a tool and made a hole in it, it didn't seal up. But one of the characteristics of this property is that it seals up, But I didn't tell you that at the beginning. I don't think you would, because I don't think it's robust enough. So I think that's it's more for a static installation as opposed to something which is moving parts. So okay, thank you very much. Okay. We have a is that off?
Oh, the red one.
Yeah. I'm sure. Okay. We have a few minutes, and I just want to take the opportunity to tell you a bit more about both of these products, because you've all done excellent work on coming up with some very interesting ideas, and some of them which this is a great example of open innovation for two of my clients, because they will now, some of the ideas that you've come up with on the food product particularly, I love the idea of Alex Ferguson being a celebrity brand endorsement. I shall go back and credit you with suggesting that. So I'll say it came from this conference. So they'll be delighted about that sort of suggestion. On the, just staying on the food product for a while, it's very recently launched. And I think the issues that I have about it as a product is that it has a high cost of sales compared to competitive products, and that's something that you've picked up on quite correctly. And so being able to sell it to a niche part of the population, and again the idea of selling it as a health product as opposed to a food product and selling it through pharmacies or is again excellent ideas, because that is differentiating it from the Wrigley's flavored gum. What we're saying is this is more medical. This is to help your teeth back, whatever. So I think that's a very good suggestion. The actual gum that the raw material, I believe, is still sourced from South America. So there is a question, and one of the issues is this big supply chain. Supply chain being from where you start with the raw materials to actually getting it through to sold. And the big issue for them is having not just the cost of the supply, but the lead time in ensuring stuff comes across. And interestingly enough, when I asked for samples of this 3 weeks ago, and I said, oh, you should be able to get them from one of the suppliers. So I went onto the website. All of the websites said they were out of stock. Now that is not a good thing. It's great that they're selling it, but not a good advertisement for a new company launching a business to be out of stock with particular websites. So they did actually supply me with what I brought over today directly. But there are some issues there, I think, in terms of the supply chain, the distribution, the high cost. Nobody's mentioned the packaging, but I think the packaging is interesting in terms of design and how it might appeal to different markets, and whether you would change the design to appeal to different places if you wanted to sell it around the world. And also, of course, design of that is something that you can protect. So there is actually exactly having the yes
and for nature you have got the green colors over here, you kind of nature in that. And about positioning, that's what I'm telling, that positioning may not be a trade secret, but because you have purposefully put that nature and maybe for example kind of country, India is, you have got a huge pool of vegetarian people, maybe positions over there as a kind of a natural product, because people normally perceive that gum may have waste from animal or something like that. And in India, like country where the population is very huge, and out of that you find huge population maybe vegetarian. So over there it can be positioned really very nice.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
If they put like because I'm vegetarian.
Yeah. So suitable for vegetarians would be a great addition to the packaging.
Because I heard if I was staying in England for almost 16 years, since he is vegetarian.
Right.
So even people in India, so I was talking about at that time marketing goods.
Well, I don't know if they put it on the website yet, but they've won a prestigious design award for the packaging, for innovative packaging, which is quite interesting, because the other people in the category are huge American companies, and this tiny little UK business is there.
Without that, you go and get double to others.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
You have got almost.
What does it cost? Yeah.
I don't know is the honest answer, because I've never bought it over the counter. But I'm guessing that it's I don't know, over a pound a packet in the UK. So I'm guessing. Thank you. 6 a packet. Thank you. Wow. Right. Okay. So and has anyone researched? Well, we know what it costs in Mexico, but what's another price for gum in the UK? Again, I haven't bought gum for years, but is it? Yeah. Okay, so 146 is not as extreme as I thought it might be. That's interesting, very interesting. Okay, so pricing strategy, maybe they've got right, but then if it costs $1, then and their margins, because they may have to be giving something away to distributors as well, so the margins could be lower than we're expecting. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
India, you have huge volume, right? Low price, but you can have a huge volume.
Right. Very good.
Sort of a portfolio management.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a pricing strategy which says we'll sell it at different prices in different countries. Okay. And different packaging in different countries as well. Excellent. Okay. Just a little bit more about this product. This has been designed by a company in Germany, I think, as I mentioned earlier on. It has this hard-wearing property. Now, when I think I said on the sheet that it lasts for 40 to 50 years, you're allowed to say this in your publicity even though it hasn't existed for 40 or 50 years, which is something I've learned recently. So you can rely on laboratory testing to actually say that your product will last for a certain amount of time, which I find is quite interesting, because whether or not it does is yet to be actually proven. So, but anyway, that's one of this puncture-proofness and the resealing of the hole and the long lifetime. And compared to what they do have this adhesive backing, which you may choose to use, you may not, but it's this was something that was added to the original product, which didn't have that, which was just relied on being heat soldered into place with other ones. And this comes in large rolls, and you just roll it out over the spaces that you need to put it into. But it's licensed across Europe now and has taken off in quite a big way in the UK as being the leading roofing material to start off flat roofs. What they do in the UK is they actually put you can put other things on top of it, which is used to be for protective reasons. You don't need to on this one, but most people are still putting something on top because they think it looks better. So it's an aesthetic thing. Some questions? Do you want to have a question?
Just like adding with the bricks to more image to the rooftops.
Okay.
Apart from what we do, like industrial source, food material and all that, I think it can be used maybe as a gasket, as packing material in big machineries, big turbine and all that, because over there, like, a lot of features will be there, and it has got life of around 50 years. So maybe for a lifetime of machine, we can 25 to 30 years of lifespan of machine, without changing packing material.
This life.
That's sealing property also, that you say that.
This lifetime is an interesting concept. If you're producing something which has got a very long term, are you going to convince people that they want to pay the price you want to get for? Because if you're not going to get a repeat customer for 50 years out of this, then that's a pretty long time to wait. So you want to be able to get, once you've sold it to this person, they're not going to be a customer for another 50 years until they build the next building. So there are some, I'd ask you to think about that as a limitation, and built-in obsolescence, I'm sure you've heard about. And the British car industry was mentioned, I think, yesterday or this morning, and that's a great example. Whether it was deliberate or not, I don't know, but having had many old British cars which seem to fall apart on me within years of having got them. I think there probably was some built-in obsolescence there, but it did force me to replace the car, so I had to go and buy another one. So, but building fantastic or creating fantastic products that last for a lifetime maybe not the best business model. Sorry?
But for example, you can print it.
Yep.
You can print it.
You can overprint this. You can spray it. You can put different colours on top of it and make it look a bit prettier.
Works of art and put it in some group.
Yeah.
Or
Oh, could it go over? Yes, it would. It'll go over a corrugated roof. Yes. Yeah. So, which will provide. If you obviously this is black, so it's going to soak up heat. But if you painted it white or something, it might be a good reflective material in a hot temperature to try to get rid of some of the. Yeah. Yeah. Good. Okay. Are there any more? I'm going to open the floor open to any general questions about anything I've spoken about this morning. Would anybody like the opportunity to? I think there's somebody around the corner. Yes.
Yeah, I was just wondering about the role of an exit strategy.
Yeah.
Is it necessary to tell your funders?
I think demonstrating that you've thought that there is an exit for the business is just good practice, because they are going to want to know what the possibilities are for realising their investment. And if you've said, well, we think that in 5 years Monsanto are going to buy us, they will say, great. And then they're going to say to you, why do you think Monsanto are going to buy you? Well, because they haven't got specialisms in this area, and by the time in 5 years we'll be the market leader, whatever. There is a story to go with it. And I think having that story may change the next year. But actually having a vision as to how it might develop, I think is important, having some sort of exit strategy. Yes? I don't know if everybody heard that, but how authentic are testimonials on websites? Well, when you actually name the chief executive in a company, it's quite easy to go and check it up. When you have got when it's a retail business, and for instance, Foreman & Field, the mail order company I showed, which is supplying natural British seasonal food in the UK, they put up names and places, because under the Data Protection Act in the UK, you're not allowed to just sort of give away people's sort of home addresses. So they have to be a bit more circumspect. I can say, hand on heart, that all of the Foreman & Field testimonials are genuine, because it's a business I'm involved with. And I think your reputation is what protects you there, because the minute that somebody finds out that you've done something which is fraudulent by saying, I've put something up there which isn't genuine, then your reputation's blown. And look what happened to Arthur Anderson. Sorry, big accounting firm everyone aware of, Enron. Another question?
I have a question about the cash flow. How do investors know that the forecast earnings that you give are a pretty good estimate? How do investors?
They look at your assumptions and they ask the questions, are your assumptions realistic and reasonable? And they'll make comparisons, if they can, to other businesses in the sector. They'll look at the market size. If you're predicting that you're going to achieve 80% of market share in some short period of time, they'll say, well, this isn't realistic. So when we talk about robust cash flows, they're built on reliable, realistic forecasts. And remember, all of these things, I said, have to have the flexibility to have sensitivity added. And sensitivity means being able to demonstrate what happens if you lose half your customers, or your price reduces, or your raw material price goes up. These are all these key things which are going to affect your business, which you need to be able to flex and show that you've thought about them and what you're going to do about it. What happens if your raw material supplier doubles the price, or the exchange rate changes, with something very topical right now in our businesses who are operating across territories in terms of exchange rates, is the effect that the exchange rates are having on their profitability. And whilst there are hedging instruments that you can enter into to de-risk, they cost money. and it costs money to de-risk. So we're back in this sort of insurance and reducing your margin to eliminate the risk. Okay. I think I'm probably reaching time. You've probably had enough of hearing me droning on, so I am around for the rest of the week. So if you do have anything you want to come and ask me about, feel free to come and say hello. Okay.
Thank you very much, David. Sorry, Richard. I think I'm thinking about David. I think we had a really wonderful session, and I think it has given you even what is going to be on Friday. Probably you are planning to come up with a 5-minute presentation, putting all this idea, what you have learned today, and everything into your business plan, and you'll be doing presentation. And I think at that time, the whole team would be supporting you, and somebody would be doing a presentation. So I think it must be a good exercise and must have given you a lot of ideas. Because tomorrow afternoon, again, you've got a whole afternoon to prepare for 5 minutes presentation. So all the best. And we now, I think it's a lunchtime. So shall we all come back at 2 o'clock? Sharp, please. Sharp 2 o'clock. Thank you. Sorry? Or Friday? Friday? Friday.
How much the price is?
Oh, it's on the last slide, isn't it? Oops.
Username and password.
Yeah. Oh yes, okay. Well, take a note of this, my website, and then those instructions at the bottom. Click on the client log on, type in EFP, that's the username, and use that password, and it gets you to a space where all of my materials are. Okay, so and you can download from there, and it's an Excel model called generic plan, and that's the one to use.
Yeah. No.
Oh.
Gonna do the content guide.
Okay, Swati. So she will be the one to present.
Well, we're gonna have to sit down.
The distributor still has to find endings. The distributor still has to find more customers. Motor manufacturing, we've lots of in buildings.